So teachers all over the country are quitting their jobs at a rate that we've really never seen before. So I asked my audience of predominantly teachers, about 2 million of them, why teachers are leaving the profession, and here's what they came up with. According to the feedback that I got, one of the top reasons why teachers are leaving the profession is lack of support from administrators. Now, what that means is lack of support from principals, superintendents, and other jobs that are like that in education. Now, this is something that isn't groundbreaking news. Bad bosses are oftentimes the reason why so many people quit their job anyway, regardless of the profession. But in education, it is a story that is as old as time. When we talk about teachers saying that they don't feel supported, really what teachers are looking for is a principal or any sort of administrator that will have their back. They will have their back when it comes to talking to parents. They'll have the teachers' back when it comes to classroom discipline. That is what teachers are really looking for. Reason number 2 why teachers are leaving the profession is the lack of pay. When you look at the amount of money a teacher can make over their career, it is so much lower than comparing other jobs that require a 4-year college degree. So teachers see that and they realize this might not be a great investment, and then they leave. Now, I'm not saying that this job is all about the money. There's a lot of really great things that come with the job. However, you have to provide for your family. At the end of the day, you gotta be making money so you can live in the house that you want and have the lifestyle that you want. Now, there are parts of the country where teachers do get paid fairly well. You look at the coast, East Coast, West Coast, those jobs do have quite a bit higher pay scales. Now, the flip side to that is saying, well, the cost of living is higher there. Yes, absolutely. But relative to other jobs, it is a decent paying job. But you look at the amount of work that teachers have to put in and the stress that they are under, it just isn't worth it for a lot of teachers. The mental and emotional stress that teachers go through and the pay that comes with it sometimes just isn't what they want. And that piggybacks perfectly into my next point, feeling burnt out. Now, teacher burnout is so common. Even for me as a teacher, I've had so many days where I feel so burnt out. So what is teacher burnout? It's kind of like other jobs where teachers just feel like they don't have the desire to teach. They're tired, they're emotionally exhausted, they're physically exhausted, and they have a hard time processing and managing emotions. When you're a teacher and you have to work with kids all the time constantly, it is really challenging to keep your emotions intact. Now, if you've never worked with kids before, you might be thinking, well, you signed up for that job, you should be good at that. Yeah, I think teachers usually are pretty good at managing their emotions. However, teachers are humans. And there's a lot of teacher guilt that also exists. Teachers feel really guilty when they lose their patients or when they are not having the best lesson that they know they can give their students. That is something that is really, really common for teachers to increase their burnout. One of the things that increase teacher burnout is poor mental health. Teachers really struggle with their mental health. This is because they are pouring in so much emotion and energy to the classroom and trying to help their kids and provide for their students. And then they just get run down and their mental health starts to drain. Another reason why so many teachers are quitting is because of behaviors in the classroom. I could dive into all the reasons why we're having more classroom management issues and behaviors in the classroom, but I'm not going to do that. I just want to talk about the fact at hand that so many teachers are leaving the profession because we're seeing classroom behaviors like we've never seen before. We've seen so many more students become violent in the classroom. We've been seeing so many more students that think it's okay to swear at teachers and disrespect teachers, and it's wearing on educators. Now, you can look at the extreme behaviors in the classroom. That is a reason why teachers are quitting. But there's also the low-level behaviors as to why teachers are quitting. If you look at just the amount of students who no longer feel like their education is important to them, it's so many students that feel this way. And I've talked to so many predominantly high school teachers who talk about how they've had so many more students that openly don't care about their schooling. They don't care. They want to sit on their phones all of class, and they have no desire to do school because they don't find it important. Now, is that the outlier? Maybe. I mean, there's a lot of great students that are in the classroom every single day. So many kids are crushing it. But the fact is, there are a lot of students that no longer care about their education, and that's for a number of different reasons. And teachers are struggling with that. And if you look at your students, they're sitting there on their phones or have AirPods in, that is not motivating for a teacher. And the final reason why so many teachers are leaving the profession is because of the lack of flexibility within the job. I've made a video previously about this, talking about why men are not going into education. You can check out that video where I really dive deep into this topic, but I'm just gonna kind of hit the 30,000-foot view of this. There are so many other jobs out there that give you a lot of time off. And education is one of those jobs where you do not get that. A lot of people say, well, you get summers off. Yeah, you get summers off, but you don't get paid for it. Also, who wants to go on a vacation in the summertime? Most people want to be with their families in the summertime. If you live in an area where it's cold, you live in the Midwest, you want to be traveling during the cold months. And for so many teachers, they only get 2 to 3 days of personal leave. Now, they also have their sick days that they can use, but those are really tricky. If you use too many sick days, there's a lot of administrators that will start questioning, why are you gone all the time? Or if you use multiple sick days in a row, you have to have a doctor's note proving why. So a lot of people say, well, just use your sick days as personal leave. It's not that easy. It definitely is not that easy. So what I think a lot of teachers struggle with is not being able to go take a vacation, go take a break, just take a couple days off. It doesn't mean that these teachers want to go to Mexico for a week. No, they just want to be able to take a Friday afternoon off. That's what a lot of teachers want. They want to be able to take a Friday off and not have it cost them one of their 2 or 3 personal days. And they also don't want to have the large task of making subplans. It takes hours to make subplans and be gone. And teachers are just kind of tired of it. So not having the time off and flexibility is really, really challenging. So what do you think? Why do you think so many people are leaving the education? Let me know in the comments and let me know if you agree or disagree with any of the things that I said.